Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Man, what a night. Um, Last 24 hours, I guess. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah, first of all, I have a little lady here, but we'll talk about her in a little bit. But yeah, I woke up this morning with really the wildest dream. Man, I gotta tell you. Um, Oh boy, it took me right back to Vegas, especially what happened there towards the end with that domestic violence case. Um, in some ways, reliving that. Um, yeah, and I think it actually I know it goes back to the things. Uh, Excuse me, that happened yesterday. Um, it just Yeah, it just kind of brought everything back and everything. Um, I know in some ways I'm still in that place. I am just waking up. I am having and my sugar is a little bit low too. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of reeling a little bit from that and everything. Um, I think I need to cleanse some energy out of me and so forth. In some way, yeah, I allowed it in. Um, I know part of it is the things that are happening astrologically this week. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, happy summer solstice, longest day of the year. Actually, it isn't. It's going to be, I think it's the 26th this year. I was reading. According to my mobile observatory, anyway, it doesn't, the longest date isn't falling in line. Um, I, I, I have to reread it. It doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, yesterday, um, I was, going through and checking, um, well, let me back up. Man, it, yeah, it's thrown me for a loop. I went back. I like to periodically throughout the day. I like to check on the status of the viewerships with okay. Yeah, this is all making sense now. Yeah, I like to go check on the viewerships of my videos that I post periodically throughout the day, and had one pop up, and I don't know, just had this funny feeling with it, because it was showing that I had one viewing, and I was just like, I don't know, I just had this funny feeling to go over and check. Um, I need to wake up. I'm not even too sure if I would want to talk about this or not. Anyway, no, I'm going to. Um, I don't know. I just had this funny feeling I need to go and check on the stats with the blog. And with what I was seeing, I'm like, yeah, something that I've been wondering about. The energy is definitely associated with it. And sure enough, I'm just like, yeah, and I know it. Certain energy. And I'm trying to be a little bit cryptic here. Let me just put it this way. Back the fuck off. Alright? I don't give a fuck about all of your little talking behind people's backs bullshit, okay? I don't give a fuck. Grow up. Get a life. Alright? Yes, I have left Vegas. Yes, I am in Minnesota. Alright? It's none of your fucking business. Just back the fuck off. Alright? I don't give a fuck. Okay? And in case you want to know, yeah, just before I left, I was witness and part of helping two girls out of a domestic violence situation. Unfortunately, the guy finally wised up, pled guilty, and is going to be doing jail time. Alright? Alright, at least that's what I'm assuming. Sentencing doesn't happen until next month. So, you know what? Just back the fuck off. I don't give a fuck. There. In other words, go suck on a straw. Suck the life out of somebody else's life. I'm done. So, anywho, and obviously that's a message for somebody. It just, and they know who it is. I don't much care. It happened. It's done. It's over with. Move on with life. I am. I lost. I mean, give me a break. I almost lost my life in your house. And yet you're going to be, and I even tried telling you about it. But you're more concerned with your fucking drug addict husband, and you're more concerned about your little petty ass shit than to be worrying about somebody who was deathly sick, trying to get help, couldn't get help, and almost died in your fucking house. And yet you're still gonna be, you're 50 years old. Grow up. Yeah. Even my almost 7-year-old cat says the same thing. Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah. You said it. Yeah. Actually, I don't consider her to be a cat. She's more of a human than what a lot of people are. But anyway, yeah, no, I'll admit, it was kind of going through my brain as I was trying to fall asleep last night, and I thought about that domestic violence situation that I was part of there. And that's basically what it boils down to. And it doesn't surprise me it's all coming out because of, there's a couple of conjunctions that have been happening this week, and then with the solstice, and then Pluto being in retrograde. You know what, I'm going to turn that AC unit off. There. You know, it doesn't surprise me, it's all coming up. Especially with Saturn and Aries, and the message that I just said, person is an Aries, and so forth. So yeah, yeah, because basically the conjunction that happened earlier this week Saturn, I mean, not Saturn, but yeah, Saturn being in Aries, but Jupiter entered into Cancer. So, yeah, it all, it doesn't surprise me. That, and then I know we just had, a conjunction between Neptune and Jupiter also, and or it's about to happen or something like that. I don't remember at this point. But anyway, yeah. And it was basically that individual who had watched that video. I recognized the energy totally and completely. And the fact that I actually posted a story on my Facebook, which I haven't done in a while. Yeah, there's a lot there. But anyway, I know my brain's kind of not with it, but it's still reeling from that dream that I had. Waking up with that, and then of course my sugar is a little low too. I don't want to eat. I've been having the issue this week where, or like earlier this week, I had compensated for waking up with having a low sugar, and then my sugar went through the roof. So I'm like, no. But you know, and the reason why I left Vegas wasn't trying to escape, things that happened or anything. It was just the fact that I wasn't getting help. That's all it boils down to. I left because I left because of my health. So I could get my life back again. I mean, give me a break. Like I said, I almost died in that house last summer. And of course, didn't care. And even after leaving, all I wanted was, just kept trying, trying another pulmonologist, trying to get help, this, that, and of course not getting the help that I needed. And after talking with my friend here, who's a nurse, and she recommended that I talk to Mayo Clinic, which is close, basically in Rochester. After talking with them, I got accepted, but I needed to get on insurance here in order to receive help. But then after being here, getting out of the climate out there and everything, I cleared up. All my breathing issues that I was having cleared up. No more chest pain. Heck, last night even, by rights, with not doing any of my yoga, not working out and so forth, with the muscles, breaking down, that muscle tissue breaking down, after everything I've built up and so forth, and not doing anything over the last week because of my period, giving my body time to rest, so in that way I could get through my period and everything. At one point, Little Miss, I was trying to fall asleep, and just laying here in bed, and Little Miss was laying on top of me, and her two front feet were right where I was having the worst issues with my chest muscles beforehand. And I mean, and they were digging in, especially this spot right here. Those of you who've been watching those videos, that spot right there. Yeah, I feel it a little bit, but it was really digging in. Her one leg was really digging in there. And yeah, I felt it was a little tender, felt it a little bit. but not nearly as bad as what it was before. So that's awesome. Yeah, I've done so much better living here. All of the climate, helping to blow out all of the allergens, pollutants, and so forth all the time. Yeah, and to be honest with you, with the humidity, I think it's helped with healing of the airway passages and so forth. I mean, look at with that first day with the exercises that I was doing. Yeah, it got a little inflamed right in here, but it cleared up real fast. And not congestion, just irritated. Like I should stop, but I kept going. I did it at a proper pace and everything. And it's like, yeah, huge improvements. And not once have I needed to go to a doctor. That's what's awesome. I never had to need to go to a doctor. So, yeah, it's awesome. It really is awesome. So, but anyway, yeah, I needed to say it, you know, end it, move on. I've been a lot better here. A lot better. All the way around. And as far as Little Miss is concerned, she's been a lot better too. Um, she's enjoyed seeing all the different kinds of birdies and all the squirrely squirrels and so forth. It was a good move in many ways. It was a good move. And yeah, that brush that I had bought her, actually I got it right here. I can show you guys in case anybody else is having the same issue or looking for a good brush. I just found it at Walmart. Yeah, long bristles and so forth, and she's a domestic medium hair, and you might be able to see some hair still in there and everything. I was trying to keep it clean, but I got a lot of mess out of her yesterday. I'm just brushing her and brushing her and brushing her, especially back there on her hindquarters. She usually doesn't let me brush back there. She just, oh, forget it. And, oh, she was just letting me get in there and just dig and dig and dig. And it's like, yeah, she's feeling a lot better. It's like, right. It's like, you know what? I think this might be her birthday present. See if I can find her something, but we'll see. After all, we are going to be going up to St. Cloud tomorrow for the quilt show. It's about an hour's drive, and I offered the rental car, so that way we can, because, unfortunately, Miss Angie, Miss Terrible Driver, and she admits it, so I'm not talking behind anybody's back or anything. She admits that she is a terrible driver. She did wreck her car a little bit here recently, and it's not sounding all too great. And has difficulties even being able to open up the hood. So it's like, yeah, let's why don't we just take the rental car going up there and back? I mean, we are talking round trip 2 hours, So, but yeah. So we'll do that. It starts at 9, so we're thinking about leaving here at about 8. So, and it's going to be the 3 of us, girls' road trip. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I did make it to Whole Foods yesterday. That was awesome. And their daughter, her name is Megan. She goes by Megs. She went with. So she was just totally engulfed, especially, of course, which I get. She's 18, just turned 18 a few months back, and actually she turned 18 shortly after little Miss here and I got here, and she just graduated from high school, and she was just like, I wonder if I could work here, and this and that. It's a bit of a drive, and this and that, but she was just totally engulfed with Whole Foods. She was definitely a virgin Whole Food shopper, and I know we kept kind of getting in the way of one of the employees with her trying to put stock out and everything. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry and everything, and she's like, no, that's okay. And it's like, yeah, she's a virgin Whole Food shopper, and she just laughed. She's like, yeah, I get it. It can be a little overwhelming at the first time. It's like, yeah, yeah. And she was just like, well, before we left, I had asked, I'm like, okay, do you have money? And she's like, yeah. And it's like, okay. So we get over there and everything, and she's just like, oh, I want to be able to buy this. Oh, I want to be able to buy that. And I'm like, well, how much money did you bring? And she was just like $15. And I'm like, oh, good boy. And I'm like, well, one thing you got to keep in mind, okay, is that, yeah, things might be a little bit more expensive here, a little, as far as, like organic or what have you. Yeah, but you have to look at it this way. You're saving yourself money in the future, saving yourself having to spend thousands of dollars on medical bills. She's like, good point. Exactly. So those little pennies that you're spending right now, it's like, yeah. So, yeah, it might, and also, I am so very grateful, so very happy that I have been, because I know that has been a big part of my healing process. Um, she even said it. She's like, you look so much healthier than my dad does, and it's like, okay, yeah, that kind of hit me a little bit. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, okay. But yeah, that just kind of threw me there for a minute. But I got enough food with what I spent yesterday. Yeah, I overspent what I really wanted to spend, but I got enough food to last me for probably a good week and a half, something like that. Because they had the big packages of chicken breasts there, so I grabbed them. That's the thing. I'm very happy that I do shop there, partly because of my, the health issues that I've had. It has helped me quite a bit with my healing process. I know that, because of course, anytime I start eating a lot of the conventional food, I just go right down with things. It's like, ugh. Don't get me wrong, I do eat it, especially with eating out, not much of a choice. But, excuse me. But, also with the produce situation here, like trying to go to local grocery stores or what have you, produce just isn't as good. It's just sitting on the trucks a little bit longer and everything. So at least with doing Whole Foods, for one thing, you're able to shop local a little bit more. Also, because of the agreements that Whole Foods has with the farmers and so forth, whether they're local or long distance or what have you, and with and with the drivers and so forth, they get the produce to us a lot faster. So unfortunately, like for instance, of course, I'm a big Walmart shopper also. And of course, with having Walmart right up the road here, sometimes I have to resort to the Walmart produce. Huge difference. I pick up, like say for instance, a bag of oranges, bag of apples, or what have you here, and it may look okay when it's in store, but then when I get it home, I find out that it's not that terribly okay. If anything, it's rotting. It's already rotting in the bag. I just didn't see it, or it's rotting within a couple of days. Whereas I get it at Whole Foods, it's lasting me a little bit longer. So, like for instance, this bag of romaine, and I sifted through all the bags of romaine there at Walmart, and I got kind of the best one. And then I bought a bag, I got through that, and I bought a bag yesterday because I love my salads, of course. And yeah, a huge difference. Fresh, and so much fresher and everything. So it's like, yeah. Oh, that was, I just forgot to get my croutons. It's like, oh well, that's okay. I can always run back over there. So, and get that. So, but anyway, yeah. But, she was just totally enthralled. But she was just like, well, I really wanted to. I'm like, okay. Well, there at the end, I'm like, oh, is there anything you wanted to get? And she's just like, well, I really wanted to get one of those fruit trays over there. I know the one that she was looking at was like $20 something. And it's like, well, let's go over there. So we went over there, and I'm like, okay, what is it that you want? And so she's like, well, to tell you the truth, what I really wanted was this, and it was one of the tubs. It was a combination of strawberries, the pre-sliced strawberries, and pre-sliced kiwis. And it was just like, okay. Well, then we noticed that some of the tubs had these 50% off stickers. And it's like, okay. So I'm like, well, but the one that she really wanted didn't have that. So I went ahead and grabbed both, one with a sticker that said 50% off, and the one that she wanted. And it's like, okay. And I'm like, well, what we'll do is when we get to the register, we'll show them that, hey, this one is, that all of them back here are showing 50% off except this one. Can we get this for 50% off or what have you? And it's like, okay, well, what else is it that you wanted? And she was just like, oh, well, there are these crepes. And it was like, okay. So we went over there, and then she saw these cupcakes, these vegan cupcakes. And she was just like, and I'm like, well, keep in mind, this is vegan. She's like, I've had vegan before. I'm like, okay. So she decided to get that instead of the crepes. It's like, okay. So we get out there to the cashier. She's like, I don't know what to say or anything. It's like, that's okay. So I handled that for her and so forth. And the guy, he just scanned the other one. He's like, okay, yeah, it's 50% off, and gave us the one that she wanted. And scanned the cupcake, and also scanned my Prime code, and everything was taken care of for her. And she was just like, oh, wow. So, and she had plenty of money left over even. So it was like, oh, cool. So she's like, when you go to Whole Foods again, can I come with? It's like, yeah. And then she was, of course, asking me all sorts of questions about doing deliveries and so forth. I don't want to burst her bubble, but I think she has to be 19 in order to be able to do deliveries in this state, which is good because she doesn't even have her learner's permit yet. So she's got to go through all those processes. But it's the way I'm looking at it is it's helping to encourage her to. I'm not saying anything or anything. Well, she was like, "Oh, if I was to do it, I would either buy a used car or rent a car." I'm like, "Well, I hate to tell you, but you would have to be, I believe it's 25 in order to be able to rent a car. So you got a few years yet, but I don't want to burst her bubble too much. But I know it's going to be a little bit before she goes through the whole processes of being able to get her driver's license and so forth anyway. So by the time everything is said and done, she'll probably be 19. So no big deal there. But she was like, yeah, my mom, she's really pushing to have me at least do the driving test. And it's like, okay, so what's the first test? Basically is it just the paper test, or do you have to actually do behind the wheel or what have you? And she's like, and I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, a test. I'm not very good with tests and this and that. It's like, oh, you'll do fine and every. So I'm just trying to do things to help encourage her because I see there. She reminds me a lot of me when I was her age. Only I'll admit I had a lot more ambition at that time and everything. But I see that there's a lot of fear there, and it's like, okay, if I can help to, you know, encourage her, spur her on, and so forth, it's like, okay. But I've also noticed too that since I've gotten here that, I've talked about their son, Sean. He's autistic, and I've noticed that in some ways that I have kind of because there's some things that Angie has told me about with that some things with him where it's like, yeah, I think I've helped influence him too a little bit here and there. So it's like I think in many ways my presence here has has been good influence, so brought some good positive energy. So and that's a good feeling, a really good feeling. That I've helped to spread some positivity and so forth. I know that I definitely had a positive influence with where I was working. As I've helped to, I know like with the person who helped train me, she could be a little bit of a dictator. And I helped to mellow her out a little bit, with my wisecracks and so forth. So and it helps because she if you watched any of my previous videos with some of the things that she had said, you got me in trouble with a customer, saying because he was saying that I was can be a bit of a dictator or what have you, and then with your goofiness or what I don't remember the term that she used, that you know that he told me that I need to lighten up a little bit and everything, and it's like, well, you do. I get it, taking your job seriously and so forth, but you you could stand to lighten up a little bit, and not just in job sense, but also with helping with her stress levels, and it would also help with her health. Because with what I was seeing, especially there at the end, wasn't good. I can see she's heading right straight for a heart attack, and it's going to happen soon if she doesn't make some changes. I see it. I saw it a lot. So, which reminds me, I need to check in on her, see how she's doing. I realize it's only been a couple of weeks, but I should check in on her. I haven't come across any tornadoes yet to be able to send her any of those pictures. She has a terrible fear of tornadoes. And we do get quite a few of them here, which I'm looking forward to. I thought maybe the other night when I had worked, that maybe I had seen one. Just the way the clouds were, and so, but it wasn't, not the way the clouds were forming, but just it was it's like you had these dark clouds, and then in the foreground you had kind of these lighter clouds, and the way that the lighter clouds were at, it kind of made it look like the dark clouds were forming a funnel, but it wasn't a funnel. It wasn't. It was just kind of the shape of, but it wasn't. It just kind of the way the light clouds were positioned, it made the dark clouds, those really black clouds, basically, it it formed it like kind of like a V shape, and it made it look like kind of like a funnel, but it wasn't. So, boy, this one here has been feeling so wonderful since she's been getting her hair brushed with a decent brush. I know I tried those other ones that kind of look like a comb or whatever. It's supposed to go in there and get all the underfur. She can't stand those things. And I've tried a couple of different ones. At first, she didn't mind it too much, and she really likes to, how it scratches or whatever. But ultimately, she just can't stand those things. If anything, I bring those out, she runs away and hides. So it's like, no. And I don't want to do that to her. But this brush, man, if anything, she was just, she kept, at one point, I had went to go clean it out or something, I don't remember, but she was running after me. Mom, no, come back here. And, oh, please, more. Okay. And I was getting her butt is what I was doing, those hindquarters back there. I was really digging it in those areas. And she was just all, she's just all, this morning. Silly girl. But yeah, she's feeling a lot better. I'm going to brush her some more today before I head out for work. I definitely want to do that. So, get some money back in the bank. I love being back out on the road. Really love it. So, but yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. So anyway, I know I did some venting today. I spilled out some frustration, but it needed to be said. And I'm not going to apologize for it or anything. It all needed to be said. It's like, yeah, do some soul searching. Do some inner work. Do some healing work. That's what the spiritual journey is supposed to be about. Okay? But, anywho. Love you guys. I really do. I really do. I love you. I do need to take care of my sugar here. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love you.